Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Rodney.
I'm Candace.
Welcome to Cohort.
1986.
Today we have a very, very special guest, Mr. LeAndrea Montgomery. I've known LeAndrea for 15 years now,
Ooh.
since he was 17 years old coming into Clemson. He couldn't even get in the club.
Definitely.
LeAndrea is a native of Greeleyville, South Carolina, Williamsburg County. He's the father of two boys, a graduate of the illustrious, beautiful Clemson University.
We're not doing that today. We're not doing that today. USC, we love you as well, which is my alma mater. So, okay.
He received a master's degree in education administration, and he's currently pursuing his doctorate degree in education leadership at Liberty University. Mr. Montgomery is also the assistant principal at Kenneth Gardner Elementary School.
Okay.
He's a member of the Omega Psi Phi fraternity.
Okay.
And he's a part of the nationally acclaimed Call Me Mr. program. Everybody, give it up for Mr. LeAndrea Montgomery. How's everything going, brother?
All is well, man. No complaints at all.
Yeah, I'm just so glad to have you on here today. Education is just like a part of my life as well. So I can feel your pain with that doctorate's program. I'm in one right now myself, and I'm just like, Lord, just help me. Help me get to me. So I totally understand, but it's just wonderful to have a Black male educator on our show. We've seen him go to Clemson. He has his master's, and now he's pursuing his doctorate degree. So today is going to be a really great show, guys. And as always, in Cohort 1986, our slogan is bridging the knowledge gap. So, LeAndrea, tell us a little bit about yourself.
As Rodney stated, I'm a native of Greeleyville, South Carolina. Small town, no more than about 500 population.
Woo.
You're talking about, stop signs, no stop light in the town.
No stop light.
No stop light. So coming from, as the people say, the country, coming from the country to going to, eventually to Clemson and stuff, it's been a tremendous experience. Honestly, I think that was the best decision I ever made in my life.
Wow.
One of them, because it gave me so much experiences that now I use now in the world till it's crazy. So I do take pride in Clemson because that really taught me a lot.
Wow. That's awesome. I'm from a small town too, but we ain't even that small. I'm from Lawrence, South Carolina. Everybody's like, are you talking about Florence? I'm like, no, Lawrence, South Carolina, close to Greenville. So, LeAndrea, question for you. So, what were some of your inspirations growing up?
I would definitely have to say my parents. I was blessed to have both my mom and my dad in my life. To have, I would say, and not just my parents, but definitely my family. Definitely my number one supporters. They go above and beyond. They've always gone above and beyond for me. So they are. Growing up, I always said that I wanted to make my family proud, and I think I'm on the right path for that.
Gotcha. So, how would you describe your childhood growing up? Like, what kind of values did your parents instill in you?
For one, God's first.
That's it.
Family second. Education is very important. My family, my father was in the military. That he left and he went to go on and get his associate's degree. My mom never went to college. She always worked. So they instilled in me the importance of getting an education, going to college. And I always said that, that's what I wanted to do. Military was my thing, as you can see. I knew that was out the window for me. So, I did want to go to school, and I never really thought about going into education until like my senior year in high school. When I was growing up, I wanted to be a podiatrist, actually.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So that's definitely a change from podiatry to being a teacher. So
So what was it about in that senior year that you were like, hey, I want to do education? Was it like a role model that you saw, or did you see that you could be a change or help people understand differently?
Yeah, when I was in high school, shout out to C. Murray High School, but when I was in C. Murray, I was in a teacher cadet program.
Okay.
Me too.
Going back into my old elementary school, helping out. I was in the elementary, I was in a kindergarten class, helping them out, reading to them. I said, you know what, this might be a okay move. And I had teachers like Angela Rush, wonderful teacher. Even my teacher cadet teacher, Miss Athena Woods, who just recently passed away.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, they definitely pushed me into education. And whenever I was a senior, the Carmister program came to my high school and presented. It was Hayward John. I know.
Hayward. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, you already know.
And so when that happened, Ms. Rush introduced me to Hayward. Hayward introduced me to Miss Houghton. After that, that's all it took.
So let me ask you a question. So did you always want to go to Clemson University?
He wanted to go to USC. I can help him out with that one.
USC was not even in my not even on one of my lists. Actually, I would say kind of sorta. My oldest brother Terry, he's a Clemson fanatic. He loves Clemson. So growing up at the house with Terry, he always just talk about Clemson. But then when I went to, I was selected to be a SAT camp workshop participant at Clemson. A lot of people don't know, but Clemson have they will bring up like the rising juniors and seniors to minorities to their university for like a week or two. And the study was focused on nothing but for SAT. So to improve our SAT scores. And it was like 100 of us. And out of 100, I would say about at least 80 of us actually went on to Clemson.
Oh wow!
Wow!
Yeah, so it was pretty good. It was a pretty good experience.
Got you. So you go ahead.
So after that SAT camp, the next following year, my rising senior year, we went back for the Clemson Career Workshop Camp. And it was about the same people, you know what I'm saying? All of us, listen, we back at it again, So decided to go to Clemson.
Wow. Got you. I had an incriminating question, but I'm not going to ask that one. I heard stuff about that SAT camp, but man, so when you got into Clemson, can you kind of like describe that feeling? Like us being from South Carolina, you guys are smaller towns, me from Charleston. It's like when you get that acceptance letter from Clemson, it's just like it seems like kind of you're the chosen one. Like so how did that feel in the community and with you in general?
Let me tell you, I can even remember the day that my acceptance letter came in the mail. I was at a basketball game. My mama called me and she said, "Hey, you got a letter for Clemson?" I said, "Lord, I said, Lord, please let it be the acceptance letter." Aww. It was a big envelope. And Rodney, even on the envelope, it says congratulations. I didn't even see that. I'm still praying. Once
see, look, same thing.
But then when I realized that, like this the one. That's all. I don't need no other college to send me anything. I am sold. I'm going to Clemson. When I arrived at Clemson, I felt like I arrived. I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm blessed. But then again, Clemson also made me realize, hey, you better study now, because once you arrive, you got to do something. You got to put in the work. So I do know that faith without work is dead, and especially my first semester, it was definitely dead because I really wasn't putting in the work. I would say I never really had to study when I was in high school. Everything came naturally, so I just had to learn how to study once I got to college. That's all it really was. Gotcha.
So, call me Mister. I know the transition, but everybody doesn't. So when you enter that program, can you tell me how kind of it helped mold you and how powerful it was for you being in that program as a minority at Clemson, having that support system around you?
Yeah, I would say it definitely. Without the economist experience, I probably wouldn't be the educator that I am today. Because Mr. Holton, not only Mr. Holton, but also the guys in the program showed me that when I thought I was I really wasn't. Mm-hmm. And there were some things that I needed to fix within myself in order to become such a great and effective teacher. So without economist program, I don't think I would be where I'm at now.
And so can you talk about like some of the experiences that you had in that Call Me Mr. program? Because I think that's an important point, like, you know, and just to kind of go back to, you know, having Clemson to come to your small town and how that was able to kind of open up some other experiences for you with the SAT camp and also with the workshops. So what was that network kind of experience for you by knowing other minorities in that particular program? Did you find it more so that you guys could lean on each other, or what were some of the takeaways from it?
It was definitely a support system. Seeing guys who are not only ahead of you, but also doing well in their career. And when you get upon a stumbling block, you just doing something that other men have met and have done before you. So you've always can call and talk to them and see, you know, use some of their pointers, use some of their ideas. Just being able to network and getting to know people like Rodney, Daniel, Gus, Leland, Lemanuel, you know, Manzo. I mean, all of just getting to know everybody, and just everybody is really having the same common goal as you.
Nice.
And now it's not only about you; it's about others. It's about, you know, other people. So,
wow.
So look, man. I look outside of Call Me Mister. Greeleyville is a small, insulated town.
Mm-hmm.
C. Murray is correct me if I'm wrong, it's a mostly all-black high school.
Correct.
So what was your culture shock coming on the Clemson campus and not seeing us? Like what was that experience, man?
It definitely was an eye-opener. Because at C. Murray, you know, our population, the demographics is like 90, I would say about 92, 93% black, and about 3 or 4%, you know, Caucasian, and the rest is other. So I've always been around us, you know what I'm saying? I've always been around us. So when I got at Clemson and realizing, going to classes, especially in education, it really just me. Not only is it not just us, you know, being a black male, but being a male and being black, you won't catch that many of us in class, especially in education. So just being able to adapt, you know, and that's all it really is, adapting.
Got you. So I'm gonna fast forward 2010. You walk across that stage, shake I forgot my man's hand.
Barker.
Yep. You shake his hand, and you transition into your career. What school district did you go to, and just how was those first few years of teaching for you?
Oh man, I love my first experience in teaching. After I graduated, I only had like 2 weeks off before I began. I mean, once I got 2 weeks off before I started teaching, at St. James Gilliard Elementary School, which is located in Utahville. So I was in Orangeburg County, Orangeburg School District 3. Had a wonderful experience. I wouldn't trade that for the world. I've been blessed. Every place I've been to, I haven't had like a negative experience. I met so many different, I would say, friends and family members at St. James. Everybody, it reminded me of Greeleyville, because everybody there is family. You know, the school is family. So me coming in as an outsider, and they accepted me and made me family.
That's awesome.
I always said that if I ever leave this school, that's going to be because of, you know, promotion, some kind of step up. It wasn't going to be because of to be another teacher. And when I got the opportunity, I decided to leave. But and I left I was going back home as an instructional coach. Yeah, so that was a great experience also. So I will say that being able to go from a place where you didn't really know anybody to now you have another family, you have another set of family. I was blessed. I really was.
So can you talk a little bit about being an instructional coach and like what were some of your responsibilities there?
Okay, so as an instructional coach, my biggest responsibility was teaching the teachers or showing the teachers how to do instruction or whatever to do in the classroom. But we were also over Title One, and Title One is a federal program, so you have to worry about budget, money, programs. Excuse me. So, and that was the biggest thing because when you're dealing with federal money. You gotta make sure you're doing it right.
You only get one shot.
Orange. I know I look good at orange, but I don't look good. So I just wanted to make sure that part I was doing correctly, and just using my experiences I got at St. James to foster, these experiences now that I have at Greeleyville Elementary, which where I left to be an instructional coach.
Okay, so question for you, man. I want you to describe it, what it's like working as an elementary school teacher with a majority of white females. Is that a culture shock to you, or was your school slightly different?
My school was slightly different. I've always gone to schools that was predominantly Black.
Oh, cool.
In the area. So even at St. James, that was more predominantly Black. Greeleyville, that's my hometown. That's more predominantly Black. And now that I'm at King Street, that's still predominantly Black. So I mean, it was good because when I student taught at Seneca, that's mostly, I've had that experience, but I always wanted to work best with kids like me.
That's awesome. That's awesome, and that's what we need in our community. People who are willing to go back and help and pull others up. So I mean, I just think that's absolutely wonderful. So I just have a quick question. So what are some ways that you think we could get, more males involved in education and teaching? What are some things that you would maybe say to some Black males about getting into education?
Well, first of all, a lot of people say, well, there's no money in education, which when you start off, there really isn't.
Right.
I mean, but you can grow to what you're trying to do if you're trying to, work your way up. Definitely, it's a process. You start off, you may not make as much, but along the line, once you get everything, in order, you get there. A lot of people think that you probably won't, but you'll get there. But I will say that you got to do it for the love. You got to do it for the love of kids, and it's really a calling. To be honest with you, it's really a calling.
Yeah.
Some people got it. And you can tell the ones who God called. You can tell the ones who just out there for a show, and that's just like with preaching or any other job. So, but I will tell them to do it for the love of the kids. And there's some great experiences that will come out of it.
Okay. So when you started teaching and just even going back into your student teaching, so how did the actual kids receive you? Like, how did you get them to open up? Like,
that's a good
what particular things did you do?
It's one thing that I've learned, that you got to build relationship with students. They got to see that you're human. A lot of kids, yes, it's fine for you as a teacher to make a mistake.
Yeah,
kids need to see that. You know what I'm saying? They need to see, teachers can make mistakes too. And when you do, let it be known. And if it's something that you did wrong, apologize. It's fine. A lot of kids don't think adults should apologize. You were wrong.
Right.
So I would say, especially as a Black male, when you go into elementary school, classroom management shouldn't. I mean, sometimes it can be it can be a problem, but normally I can just walk into a class. And it was
everybody just straighten up.
But I also can go into that class and build a relationship with the kids, and I can fuss at them the next day. They come and give me a hug. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Kids. One thing I've learned about kids, man, them jokers real. You know what I'm saying? They can find. They know when you fake. You know what I'm saying? They know when you love them. They know when you're just putting on a show. They really do. They got that sense. They really can. So it's all about building relationships. So I want you to build our relationship. And if you're good with a kid, talk to the parents. You good with the parents, man. You good.
Yeah, that was my next question. Like what has been like some tips for like connecting with parents? To talk to kids about. I know like some teachers like only call parents when kids are doing bad. But what are some ways that you try to connect with the parents and the kids, outside of school? Because I mean, school is just one component of it, but there's a community there. So, what are some ways that you just kind of connect with them?
Definitely. I would say that a lot of times when you when you want to talk to parents, especially the ones who kids are giving you a hard time in class, they're not the ones that show up at PTA meetings.
Yeah.
A parent conference, they're not the ones there. So you have to go out where they are, which is at the basketball game. Most of these kids play, basketball, football. So I'll go to their games on Saturday mornings.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? And when the kids see that, okay, so you're here to support me, and I can also talk to the parent, which is right there. Yeah. I have my parent conferences right out there.
Nice.
So you just have to go out and meet families, meet the students, and meet the parents where they are sometimes, because sometimes they're not going to come in the building. You have to go where they are. And that can be going to church on Sunday morning. A lot of them go to the same church. One day just go to their church. Yeah. So you have to go out to where they are.
And I think that's important too. It's just kind of building that connection. Not only are you just here during the day from 8 to 2 or, whatever time, but being that person in the community to make those connections. And I mean, I think it just helps with, engagement as well with the kids when they see you and it's like, oh, okay, I see Mr. Montgomery over there. I know he cares about me because he doesn't have to be here. So I just want to commend you for doing that and being that person and that role model.
Thank you.
Man, look, I got a question for you, man. Why did you go get your master's degree, brother? look, I'm just learning this. Like, I thought, look, my little bachelor's degree is enough. I'm good. What made you go back to pursue that degree, and why education administration?
I always knew that I wanted to work with kids more on a broader scale than just teaching. And I do know that, in order for you to come out the classroom, you have to have some kind of additional, degree.
Yeah.
So that was one of the major reasons why I decided to go ahead and get my master's degree so that I can become either assistant principal, whatever comes.
Nice. Nice.
And what was that transition to becoming an assistant principal? Like, was there just like a job posting one day, or, was it part of like your long-term career planning?
And did you have to wait until you were finished with school to pursue that option?
Well, I didn't have to, but I did wait till I was finished with my master's. Okay. Actually, I finished with my master's back in 2015, and I left St. James in 2017. So even though I already have a master's degree, I was still teaching. I was just waiting on the right opportunity. And when I came on the right opportunity, that's when I decided to go.
Gotcha. And so what are like the typical duties of being an assistant principal at a school? Like, Like I know you're not in the classroom doing things. I know it's a lot more administrative stuff. But
Yeah.
how is that? What is that difference? And do you get to interact with students as much as you used to?
Oh, I interact with students most of my day. As a assistant principal, you do all the dirty work. You know, you do all the dirty work. You know, it ain't enough for me to be running down the hall to see what's going on if something happened. You know, so I do deal with every morning. I try to, especially once all the kids get back in, I'll try to make my rounds. So I will go to each classroom and just stick my head in not even in the door. I try not to, interrupt, but I might stick my hand next to the window and just put up a thumbs up so the teacher know, everything good. They give me a thumbs up and I just keep it moving, and so the kids can see that I'm walking the halls and I'm not just in my office. Normally I'm not even in my office. Normally I'm up front. My office is towards the back of the school, and I call it the dungeon back there. And I'm always up front. But yeah, I deal mostly with students. As they say, the 3 B's: books, butts, and books, butts, and what other B is? I forget.
Budget?
No, it ain't budget.
Bad behavior.
Yeah, behavior.
Behavior.
That's what I figured, because I remember like, being in elementary school, and we would see like the assistant principals like walking the halls, and they were always like the kids that were bad, like come on, you going to my office.
Let me holler at you 1 second. Come here.
What you doing today? So
unfortunately, yeah, I have to deal with that. But for the most part, no, it's not bad. One thing I would say is no day is the same. And I also deal with IEP, so I'm the LEA of the school, so I have to be in every IEP meeting.
Oh wow!
So to make sure everything is, and IEP, that's federal stuff too, so you can't mess up stuff like that.
Yeah.
I have to make sure that everything is going like it's supposed to. We're doing exactly what we're supposed to, that we're not out of compliance. So yeah, it's a lot to go along with it, but it's been a great experience. I definitely am appreciative of it.
Yeah. So I have a question. I know I've been watching the news a lot about, the impacts of COVID and how it's impacting literacy for students. So, what are some recommendations that you have for parents of, young kids who are, learning from home? What are some things that they could potentially do to kind of help boost the literacy?
Gotcha. One thing that I would tell parents have to understand that the first kids' first teacher are parents, and they have to create teachable lessons at the house, not just home, but just anywhere. Like you can go into the grocery store and have the kids, okay, read what does this say on stuff? Like what ingredients are in this? What all if I'm trying to look for this, where can I find this? Like you have to make teachable lessons, and it's all about reading. If you can get your child to read, and have a love of reading, I promise you, they will be pretty good in school. It's all about reading. The earlier they are to read, the better all life will be for them, and for you as a parent. So getting them to read. If you have a baby at the house, read to them. If the child can see that you're reading, they see that it's normal. You build upon the vocabulary. That's all it really is. Reading is the key. Reading. Always take time to read to our students.
Yeah. That's a really good point. Just kind of finding those teachable moments. It just kind of makes me think back to, when I was a kid and, my mom and my grandma would send me in the store to exchange money just so I could, learn how to, communicate with people and just kind of build those skills and finding opportunities for me to read or do stuff. So I think that's a good point.
The kids don't exchange money no more. They play with the cash app.
Oh yeah, right. Cash app.
They don't know how to exchange the money for cash app. That's all.
So man, look, man. So I want to stick on COVID. So how has that affected like your school year? Like, are you guys fully open? Are you guys on a specific schedule? and how has that changed your role as an assistant principal? Are you walking around like in a hazmat suit? Like how does that work?
No, but we wear a mask. But we've been open now. We've been offering 5-day instruction now since we opened up school. So since September the 8th. Since September the 8th, we've been offering, 5-day instruction. Now our numbers, like when we first started, we might have had like 30 students. Back in September, we first offered it. Everybody else was virtual, but now we had like 130 students. Our movement is about 380, almost 400 students. So we're not we're not close to where we were, but every week, we're getting calls about, kids parents wanting their kid to come back. So I think we'll get there eventually. And I think that once everybody get vaccinated, probably, especially with teachers, once they offer to everybody, we'll probably back normal 5-day instruction with everybody probably until like April. I'll say probably next month. I think everybody be back full time.
Okay. So, man, look, you seem like you're a glutton for punishment. So why are you getting your doctorate degree? and what is your plan for that?
Why am I getting? I would say that I always wanted to be called Dr. Montgomery.
Okay.
Yeah. And not that many people in my family has that doctorate degree, so I just want to set the stage and show everybody, hey, if I can do it, I know you can do it, because it's not like I was all so smart. So I just put in the work. That's it. Put in the work. My goals with that doctorate degree, I don't say like I would say my ultimate goal is one day probably become a superintendent somewhere. But this is a process, so I'm not even, that's way down the line. So I'm just taking it,
put it in the toolbox.
Taking it one day at a time. But I do know that's hopefully the path that I'm on now, it'll lead me to that.
That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. I have so much work to do. I'm just thinking about my own program now. It's like, it's great to have a long-term goal with what you want to do with that doctorate. But, like yourself, I would be the first in my family to have a doctorate degree as well. So it definitely sets the stage, but it's a lot of work.
Definitely.
A lot of work. So, in saying that, you're working as an assistant principal, you're working on your doctorate, you have 2 boys, and you're also the head coach of the girls basketball team.
At C Murray.
So tell us a little bit about that experience and how did that come about?
Well, I've been coaching now since I started teaching, actually. So I've been coaching now since 2011. I started off at Ellery Middle School and worked my way up. Then I became an assistant coach for Lake Marion High School. And I was always doing AAU basketball, which is travel basketball. So we would go to different states, different cities. So that was always in me. I have a passion for coaching. And I was coaching football sometimes too in those years, not just basketball, football too. But now I'm just focusing on basketball. Football, y'all will focus on basketball, one sport at a time, and I choose basketball.
So what's the process for becoming a coach? Like, did you have to get like certifications, or did you start off like volunteering, or what was that? What does that process look like?
I would say for me, like I said, I've been blessed. I was offered assistant coach. I mean, I was offered the head coach job actually at Ellery Middle School. And my first year, we lost like two games. Like we did. And so I've always had a pretty solid, team throughout those years, and had a wonderful coaching staff with Coach Ellison, and being able to being around Coach Brown, Coach Avenger, those at Lake Marion High School, Coach Butler, Coach Wright, Johnny Wright. I was always the young guy So they always took me up and mentored me and showed me stuff. So I was always blessed, man. Like a lot of things that I know now from coaching, I just pick up different stuff, from other people. And it's been a great experience. I really can't say anything bad about it. Once they saw how well my teams were doing, and even with AAU, because back in 2000, I want to say 17, 18, we placed fourth in the at nationals.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've been blessed. I ain't gonna lie to you, I've been blessed.
Got you. So you coach, like Candace said, you coach, you're a student, you're a parent. How does LeAndrea balance all this into a perfect schedule that caters to you?
Right now, I don't even know how to do it sometimes. But it's all really about time management, man. That's all it really is. I was at Clemson, taught me how to manage my time. Being able to say, okay, especially like if I'm at work, if I got an opportunity to do something right quick, I can do it. You know what I'm saying? Get that done out the way so that when I get home, I can just focus on this and that. Or just, when I have free time, it's not really free time, it's for me to catch up on other stuff.
Gotcha.
Wow. I mean, I'm just sitting here thinking like, I'm just trying to balance work and school. I just couldn't imagine like adding in other things. So, we talk about time management. So, what are some of the things that you do to kind of manage your time? Do you have like a calendar? Do you just kind of write things down? Or, what are some methods that you kind of use to make sure that you're where you're supposed to be today versus tomorrow?
My phone, I create an event. I'll create an event in my phone, reminders. I try to write stuff down, but I have pretty good memory. So I try to remember it. Then if I have it on my mind so much that I'll get it done.
Got you. So, man, look, I just kind of want to recap. So, I am a 17-year-old guy, and I want to become a teacher. What is that certification process like? What tests do I have to take? What does it take?
Gotcha. All right. So, you have to first pass all three parts of practice one, which is reading, writing, and math. It's kind of like an exit exam, and a lot of people get stumbled upon just that, just taking those three parts, passing those three parts. Is it hard? Not really, but if you're not studying for it, or if you don't have the background for it, it'll take you a while.
Okay.
I passed math the first time. I had to take ELA and writing over, and I passed it on the second time on the second try for both of those. But I took so long of a gap. I passed my math because I took all three of them at the same time when I was a freshman. Passed math, did not pass reading and writing. So I waited until my junior year to take reading and writing. Yeah. So I was waiting until I knew I was ready. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I used those experiences I had with Common Program because we would have those study nights, Rodney.
Whiteboard in the room.
Yep. Have those study nights. So I would use those and my writing experience when I was a student. Having to write those papers. Coming from Greeleyville, writing, back than the Clemson writing. So I had to, focus more about the grammatical errors because even though, coming from Greeleyville, we talk a little country, just be real. So I have to understand I can't write like how I talk. So, so I have to use everything, all the grammatical stuff that I need to use. I just, go about that way.
So are there like credits or things that teachers have to do like on a yearly basis just to kind of keep up, I guess, their credentials?
Like certification, certain like certified and all that stuff.
Yeah, we have to have certain. We have to have 180 renewal credits, um, and you can get renewal credits from professional developments that you go to, and also if you take classes. So, like you take, just say, and I think you have to do it every 3 or 4 years. But anyway, if you take like 2 or 3 classes, that'll be all your credits that you're going to need. Or if you attend a certain amount of professional developments, not just within your district, but outside the district, that account too. So, but yeah, every 3 or 4 years, you have to have, I think that's 180 renewal credit hours in order for you to, renew your certification.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, I always knew there was like some credits. So do you guys get to choose like what kind of professional development you want to do? Like, are you able to find like specialty niche items, or what are some examples?
Yeah, especially in the summertime, they have like different organizations, different programs that are offering professional development. Some of them you have to pay, some of them you have to apply to and get selected. I remember back in 2014, I went to, it was some kind of STEM camp for Adventure, the children.
Wow.
Yeah, the Children's Museum in Columbia, and we stayed there for a week. We stayed at the near hotel, but we just took classes there, and that gave me about I want to say 90 credit hours, so half of what I need.
Wow.
And it was a great experience. It was about 20, 25 of us from different districts within South Carolina. But yeah, different programs. Sometimes your school can send you places. Sometimes a district. Sometimes you don't get to pick. Sometimes the district you go on.
You going here?
You going here?
Yeah, you going there. But yeah, sometimes you can't pick where you want to go though.
Yeah. And I do want to ask you, so I heard that you won Teacher of the Year in your career. So what was that like, winning that award? And, did you get to celebrate it with your friends and family? How was it just finding out that you had been, nominated for this?
It was a pretty good experience. Yeah. Back in 2015, I think it was 2015, I won Teacher of the Year for St. James Guia Elementary School. I wouldn't say I was surprised, but I think everybody could see that the work I was putting in.
Yeah.
And back in that time, I was doing my internship for my master's program. So I was having administrative duties when I was a teacher. So I was passing out textbooks. I was going around doing this and doing that. So everybody saw I was, putting in some work. So they nominated me and I was selected. And yes, my family came.
Nice.
At the big program to see whether or not I won district teacher yet, which I didn't, but my family was there and we all had a great time.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. So, LeAndrea, man, look, you're a pillar in the community. You give back. You're a role model first and foremost. Yeah. So, like, how do you give back? Do you go back to Clemson and talk to potential Call Me Misters? Do you offer mentoring? So how does that work for you?
Well, as a coach, you have no choice but to be a mentor. So I would say that comes along with it, and also as a teacher or anything that comes along with it. But the other than this past Monday, when I tell you I spoke to Mr. Holton and Dana, we actually were on a Zoom meeting with another Common Mister participant at Southern Wesleyan. And he's on a student teacher now. So we were just giving him, along with Mr. Cherry, we were just giving him, some pointers and tips. And every opportunity I try to give back. If somebody call me, I'll try to, do it the best as I can. If I'm free, I'll try to get back.
Wow. That's important. And that's kind of why we do this show, is a way of giving back and, just kind of bridging the gaps, like with different careers and interviewing different professionals, just to kind of get their perspectives of, their career, potential insight and any tips. But I do want to ask you, I know I had a favorite teacher growing up. So who was your favorite teacher growing up and why?
My favorite teacher growing up, I would say it'd probably be Miss Angela Rush, British Lit. She definitely taught me not just British Lit, but definitely outside of British Lit. She instilled us importance of education. She's one of them that did not play. Like if you were in her class, you had to put in that work. And matter of fact, when I was a sophomore at Clemson, I took British Lit as a class, and I really didn't have to study. I went back one day and I called Ms. Russ. I said, "Listen, thank you." I didn't have to study for anything. Like I can remember most of the stories that I just had to read. It's more like a refresher. You know what I'm saying? It really wasn't. Well, let me go ahead and try to learn all this. No, I already had it in me. I just had to refresh myself with it. And I got to eat out of class. I had to go back and I had to think because her class, my senior year, was harder than the class I had when I was at Clemson.
Wow. She prepared you.
Yeah.
So I have to ask you, so we've talked a lot about what you're doing now. So what do your future plans look like in the next 5 years? I know you said you're kind of working towards
being a superintendent.
So any other plans?
Well, before I become a superintendent, I have to become a principal first. And I mean, just whenever that opportunity comes, I just pray and hope and pray to God that I'm ready for it. Yeah. I would say that my experiences so far, I think I'm on the right path. So I'm just preparing myself for the future. Actually, every day I'm just trying to prepare myself, learn as much as I can. Even I don't think you can ever know all that you need to be whenever you become a principal. I think that's one of those jobs that you learn, along the way. Yeah. So I'm just trying to prepare myself as much as I can so that when I do get the opportunity, I'll be more confident in myself and I'll be ready.
Gotcha. Wow. So LeAndrea, so where can people find you if they want to reach out to you?
I'm on Facebook, LeAndrea Montgomery. I got Instagram, but I don't really be on it like that. Coach_Mont. You really can find me on Facebook. I don't really post anything on Instagram. I have a Snap, but I don't really be on Snap like that.
We too old for that. We too old for that.
I can only do one at a time. Do one at a time.
Also, you can reach me on Facebook. LeAndrea Montgomery, that's my name. Hit me up, send me a message. That'll work.
Gotcha. So thank you, LeAndrea, for coming on, man. We really do appreciate you. Yeah. Your story is amazing. Your journey from Greeleyville to now you're coaching at C.E. Murray High School, assistant principal, man. That's an incredible.
And working on that doctorate.
Man, look, I gotta applaud you, brother, man. I'm gonna say this from the bottom of my heart, man. I'm honored to see the man that you've become over these years, man.
Thank
you. And I wish nothing but the best of success for you, brother.
Yeah.
And also to you. We had our ride or die moments, Rodney.
I can only imagine.
And to see you along with Candace, I'm happy for you as well.
Right.
Man, look, all I gotta say is one thing: the arch of my foot. Leave that one alone. But so next week we have a journalist, Ricky Stevenson. She's an international journalist, and we actually met her in Paris. We went to Paris in 2017.
Yeah, that was the trip that Rodney planned.
And so I booked her Black Paris tour. Candace and her have been connected since, so she'll be on next week to kind of talk to her career. And Candace, tell everybody else who we're looking for to come on the show.
So guys, like we want to kind of continue what we're doing and exploring different careers. So we're gonna have someone from that sells insurance, kind of talk about life insurance, auto insurance. We're also going to have a fireman come on, doctor, people who work in transportation. And if you guys have any ideas of what you would like to see, feel free to connect with us, email us, text us. How else can people get in contact with us, Rodney?
Look, like, share, subscribe, Cohort 1986 on all platforms. Our email address is brandonbyparson@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Or you can call me personally or send me a text message at 620-5522. I'm not giving away my wife's number because ain't no man jumping in her inbox.
Whatever. Y'all can
talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
You feel me? You feel me, LeAndrea? You feel me?
Definitely.
All right, look, man, again, thank you so much, LeAndrea, man. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend, brother. Look, I'm gonna hit you up later, man.
Okay, thank y'all so much.
Thank you. Peace. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.